Thank you for staying with us. We'll start with this. It has been a successful period for both the SA Under-17 and Under-20 sides who managed to clinch qualification for their respective World Cups. The Under-17 side did so by virtue of reaching the quarterfinals of their AFCON. The Under-20s, on the other hand, secured a spot after reaching the semi-finals and then going on to win their tournament in Egypt. 20-year-old analyst Yardaan Valodia was a key part of their tournaments and reflects on them with Newzroom Afrika's Yolulwe Qoshe.
20-year-old analyst Yardaan Valodia was an integral part of both the Under-17 and the Under-20 sides qualifying for their respective World Cups. Of course, the Under-20 side went on to win their first ever Under-20 title. He speaks to us about the rigors of both of those two competitions.
The work is a lot. It's very important for us as the technical team to try and give the boys as much information and support as they need in preparation for the games, especially with the Under-20s, because it was such a short turnaround time, leaving and just being there for 2 or 3 days before our first game against Egypt, planning, preparing, profiling the opposition. But it's not only me, it's the entire technical team, from the head coach, the assistant coach, Coach Karabo, Shalifo, the goalkeeper coach. It's all of us, it's a collective, and I think that the hard work and the sacrifice that the technical team made in preparation for the opposition really paid off.
He also lets us in on how his day-to-day activities were during both tournaments.
So at breakfast, we will eat breakfast, and I know there was even times where our manager, Ntate Tseka, he was complaining that we always have our laptops and we're always working even when it's time to eat. But I think it's just a little bit of sacrifice is really what takes us to the next level and gives us that confidence to prepare. Every night after supper, the technical team will sit in meetings for until 2 or 3 a.m. every single night, watching the opposition games and coming up with a plan of how we're preparing and how are we going to look to counter the oppositions. When we're looking at their strengths and weaknesses, is how can we adapt to them and how can we impose them when we have the ball as well.
He also speaks about how tough or easy it was to get the material to analyze the teams that they were playing against during the tournaments.
The games of the qualifiers were all over social media, so we could find the games on YouTube and stuff where we had downloaded it, and then from there we did the analysis. And I think we went very deep in the analysis, especially with these the under-20s, to go to an extent where we looked individually at each of the opposition players, even videos of them at their club level, giving for example, you're speaking about Tato Sibia now, giving him giving him footages and clips of his direct opponent that he could come up in a game. So it's a 1 or 2 minute clip where he could just look at it, analyze his opponent, look at the strengths and weaknesses and how we want to press him and how we'd look to counter him.
He also admits that there was a lot of nerves as well as excitement when the Under-20 side made it to their final.
We told the boys, I know in one of our pre-match agreements, is that we have already created history by qualifying for the World Cup, and now is an opportunity for us to create a legacy, and a legacy that will never ever be forgotten in South African football. And we told them that legends are made by finishing the job. And first of all, congratulations to the players for that. The feeling, a lot of stress, anxiety, pressure, I think, for the entire technical team, even in moments where we have to hide it a little bit to give the players more confidence. Before we played Nigeria and DRC, we went to one of their group games without knowing that we would play them in the quarterfinals and semi-finals. We drove an hour and a half from our hotel. I think we got home at maybe past 1 o'clock in the morning, where the 5 of us, the technical team members, drove to Suez to watch their games. So I think that also gave us a lot more information watching the games live in preparation for the game. So the Moroccan game was the only team that we haven't watched live, but obviously knowing that they're a team that's very similar to us, tactically a very good team, a lot of good players individually as well, a very well coached team. And I think that was one of our biggest challenges in the game, because also the games we have played before that were teams that were very physical. Coming up against Morocco is a team that is going to go pound for pound with us and compete with us. And I think it's just how we looked at them, how do they build up their team that can build up from the back into the final third, a lot of rotations with the right back come in inverted, keeping width on one side. On the other side is the left back giving the width, and the winger coming to invert.
The two teams will now jet off to their respective World Cups, the first being the Under-21, which is set to take place in September. That will be in Chile, while the Under-17s will have theirs in November in Qatar. For Newzroom Afrika on channel 405, I am Yolulwe Qoshe in Randburg, in Johannesburg.